Okay, hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Um, I've made it home, guys. I made it home. I'm just sitting here in the kitchen. I'm waiting for my fish. Mrs. Paul beer batter fillets. I got them in the air fryer. They're cooking up in the air fryer. Um, and I'm just waiting for them to get done so I can go and eat them because I'm a little bit hungry. But guys, listen, I did tell you guys that I was going to get into the topic of church hurt because I enjoyed the content, the discussion, the topic that Eat with Q and her sister Chelsea, because they are the two hosts of that podcast. So, listen, I didn't experience any church hurt. I grew up Pentecostal, and for those who say that that's a strict environment, they didn't tell any tales. It was very strict. Women, none of this. Well, this is Carmex I have on my lip, but I guess that would have been okay. But it better not have been nothing bright red, orange, pink, blue, purple, none of that. Women, the only jewelry you were allowed to wear if you were married was your wedding ring. I didn't see a bunch of watches. I didn't see any bracelets, any earrings. If you had earrings, you had those studs, the little small ones that looked like, they were real unnoticeable. And also, uh, the dress code was strict. Women, no pants at all, no pants. Dresses or skirts, either either or had to be below the knee. Okay, nothing could come above the knee. Okay, so it was a very strict environment, but I grew to be used to it because the church that I was attending as a youngin, and then up into my teen years, it was family. My grandmother, she was it was her church, but my uncle, he was the pastor, and I didn't understand all of that logistics. All I knew is that the church was in her name, and I don't know if she had a thing about women not being in the pulpit. I don't know because they didn't share that information with us. But I know my uncle, rest his soul, he was the pastor of the church. As a matter of fact, we affectionately called him pastor. We just called him pastor. We knew what his real name was, but we just called him pastor. But the church, it was really a family church, so there wasn't any church hurt to speak of. And I guess I was kind of fortunate that way. I'm not sure because there's probably other people who could probably say, well, I grew up in a church where they was just for where the family was running it, and it was still. I'm just talking about what my experience was. I didn't. Now, when we went to visiting churches, and then when we went to visiting churches, there was some things that I seen, and it wasn't Pentecostal, and some may have been Pentecostal, but I think for the most part it was like a Baptist or something like that, because I would notice how, different things would go down in there. I mean, I'm young, but I'm not that stupid where I could see where things was obvious, and like we saw what we saw. But that was in another church. That wasn't in my grandmother's church. So, but one thing I can say, guys, is that I can appreciate growing up into a family owned. Well, I can only speak for my family because I don't know. It would probably be some of y'all that out there who have not had the kind of experience that I had, who would say, maybe say, well, family or no, we still had issues and this, that, and the third. I had none. But like I said, when we visited other churches, it was some things that was obvious that was going on in them churches that I wasn't used to, coming from the Pentecostal, the church that was ran by my uncle and my grandmother. It was some other funny looking stuff going on, and I couldn't because I was kind of young still, early teens and things. And I couldn't, pinpoint anything, but it just seemed like some things that was going on. Because for one thing, they did a little different because, well, Pentecostal, for the most part, if you smoke cigarettes or whatever, you better not let it come out. You better just take that to your grave and all that. And if it was some men in there doing things with other people who weren't their wives, or females who were doing things with people who weren't their husband, that was kept on the low out of our vision, so we didn't get to see any of that. But listen, my grandmother, rest her soul, she used to say, when you go to a church, it's not the building that you need to be worshiping, nor is it the people in the building. Almighty, the Creator, is what you're after. That's the only thing that you're coming to church with. Well, actually, you come to church to be in fellowship with other, like-minded people, okay? But you're not, let's keep it real, you're not in this church for anything more than having and building a relationship with the Most High. And that's what I can say to people. When you go into a church, if you see that things is not, or you getting this tingling feeling that something or something just not quite so right, you might want to pray about it, ask Almighty, is this where I need to be? Because I'm seeing things, and and I'm sure if you ask Almighty about it enough times, He'll direct your path. He will direct your path. Okay? He's not going to lead you astray. Because remember, it was only a couple of churches that Almighty found no fault in. But all them other churches, it's a lot of churches that we just have to use our own discernment and pray about it and use our common sense, because like I tell my grandkids all the time, God gave that mind to you, you best be using it. So we have to keep in mind while we're going. We're going to fellowship with Almighty's people. Prayerfully, that's who they are. But if you come to find out that they are not of God, and we can tell Almighty's people if we are looking hard enough. We can tell. But we need to be looking like, Almighty, where you at? Where you at? I'm here looking to fellowship, yes, but I'm here ultimately. My ultimate plan is to find you in the midst of this church. And if you can't find Almighty, see, a lot of people, what they do, they put stock in these pastors, bishops, preachers, all this other stuff, ministers and stuff. Listen, y'all, listen, like I said, if I was to try to find, because I don't have a church home right now, because I told y'all I'm not a Christian. I used to be. I grew up that way. But when you know better, you're supposed to what, guys? That's right, do better, okay? I'm not knocking what nobody do. That's not what I'm doing. But I'm just saying, if you are running into churches where, I mean, you got all this strife and you got people nitpicking and you got, it's probably some demons up in there, and you might want to second think it. You might want to say, oh, maybe heck to the no. Maybe I need to go, because you want to find somebody who is doing the same thing you're doing. Hopefully, what you're doing is seeking out the Creator, having a relationship with, And if you go to a church and it's all this backbiting and bickering and all this other stuff, that's not of God. That's not of God. So I would suggest that you quickly remove yourself. You got people doing too much in these churches and they worshiping things they ought not to be worshiping. I'm not, listen, somebody asked a question because they tried to make a point about older people because apparently we still back in old days. I wasn't never back there though, tell you the truth, but they saying we got that mentality. Oh, absolutely not, because one of the questions I heard on this other content creator channel. Oh shoot, my thing went off. My which gun went off? Okay, I'm coming, darling. I'm coming. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop this right here. Oh, it stopped. Good. But do we think that the pastor, and I'm going to paraphrase this because I don't remember exactly how it was worded, but something to the effect that do the pastor, ugh, can the pastor be in error? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Listen, if that pastor, male or female, is doing things that's not of the Almighty, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen. Oh, my Lord. But see, that other content creator, she's just trying to kind of mix people all up in the mind. And she's going to pay for that, She's going to pay for that. I told her before that, if you're misleading Almighty's people, that's a price to pay for that. But, yeah, I'm over 57, 58, 59. And I do understand that, yes, if a pastor is doing wrong, listen, if he done confessed his sins and repented his sins, that's one thing. But can he do wrong? Yes, he can. We got to get out of putting people on pedestals. Okay? We got to get away from putting people. You let Almighty lift you up. The only one we need to be lifting up it's Almighty. That's the only one that needs to be lifted up. We don't put people where Almighty ought to be. We just don't need to be doing that. Because see, no preacher, no pastor, no bishop, no minister, no nothing need to be elevated to where only Almighty ought be. Right? Right. So, yeah, I don't know what this other content creator was. I don't know, she's just trying her best to be so important, like she really schooling somebody, but she need to be careful of the daggone steps that she's taking and the things that she's saying, because she thinking she's doing it all for some clicks and views. But honey, I'm here to tell you, you better watch your step. Ain't nothing I'm going to do to you, but Almighty, I'm talking about the creator of the universe. Like I say, I don't dibble and dab in religion no more, even though I grew up in that. I kind of, my mind have evolved from that. So, when you're young and they're teaching this stuff, I don't find fault with them because I'm talking about my grandmother, my uncle, because they just gave us what was given to them. So they were trying to do their best. And see, what I do appreciate about that is the foundation that they laid, because some people don't even know about Almighty, a Creator, don't know about Yeshua. They don't have the first clue. So I appreciate what was passed along on some and stuff that we can build on, until we find out what Almighty wants us to know. It's something to build from. But anyway, guys, yeah, I really enjoyed that podcast about I think it was the last. Was it the last podcast? Or I don't know. I know it's got the word church hurt in it, and that, yeah. I'm like, well, have I experienced any of that? I don't believe so. And then, because see, my grandmother didn't always have that church. She, when she got older and couldn't keep up, my uncle tried to keep it up as long as he could, but, he started getting ailments and things like that. So the church eventually closed down, but by then we had gotten older and we started, thinking for ourselves and doing for ourselves and whatever have you, going what way we felt comfortable going. But yes, I think anybody could be listening where it says we were born and we are shaped in iniquity. So everybody falls short. Everybody falls short. We was listen to me, born. We was born and shaped in iniquity, okay? So everybody is, got some mud and things like that under their fingernails. So, but I've never experienced any church like that. And you best believe me, if I went and I got wind that people were just, because I know I had a co-worker and he was in a church, and I think he experienced a lot of church hurt, because he would tell me, he said, Sharon, he's retired now from the job. We used to work together. And he said, Sharon, because he's a lover of Almighty. He loved the Word and he loves Almighty, and he just tries his best to do what's right in Almighty's sight. That's what I'm striving to do myself. I fall short, but I try to get on back up. I don't lay down there and wall up. Can't do that. But he said, Sharon, he said, I had this idea. He said that he wanted to create like a little small baskets for new members, people who new to the church and they coming in and they want to join, after coming a while, and they decided that they want to be members of the church. And he wanted to put little baskets together, little soap, little this, little that, little fruit, just a nice little, put some candy, maybe a couple of artificial flowers or something. And one of the so-called mother of the church, what you doing that for? Ain't no need. I say, see, honey, you should have ran. You shouldn't have walked. You should have ran clean on up out of there. But he tried to give the church, because I think he loved the pastor, but it was a big church. It's a big church, still a big church, not far from where I work, but or where I used to work, or however, not far from where I used to live, not work, but live. But anyway, I'm like, why was she acting like that? What was going on? That's what I'm talking about. You got people just kind of like acting a fool, and they supposed to be acting Christ-like, Yeshua-like, but and she didn't appreciate, I don't know, maybe she didn't like the fact that he came up with it and it wasn't an idea of her own. But he wouldn't have minded if she would have came in on it with him. He probably would have welcomed her. But what's she doing all that for? Like she had a real, I don't know. So you find all kinds of stuff, but we need to keep in mind while we're going, if we're going to go, keep our eyes on the prize. And I'm not saying Almighty is a prize, but he's the one and only reason we should be wanting to go if to a church that's like you thinking, you hoping that they having the same kind of goals as yourself. Well, that's to serve, and because that's what we supposed to be doing here, serving, but if you, I don't know, run into that kind of thing, I don't know if I would just up and leave the church. I would maybe try to talk to it. I'm sure he did try to have a conversation, but some people, they got them things, they got them, I'm going to say it, them demons that won't turn them loose. And I don't care how many conversations you have with them, they just going to do what their father, they're not in there worshiping the Creator. They're in there doing what their father sent them to do. So I don't know, maybe you would have a conversation with the pastor. I don't know how you would, because I don't know if it's not a whole lot that's going on in there, you may, if you feel comfortable or led, to maybe have a conversation with the individual who or you might want to bypass that person because you don't want them demons hopping and popping, because then I hop and pop right on your lap, and you don't want none of that, to go down. Maybe talk to the pastor, and the pastor sees nothing wrong with it, then maybe it's time to find somewhere else to go, because maybe he got a couple of things going on in him that, you ain't put your eye on yet, But anyway, guys, that's all I came to say. I think we need to, I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell you what you need to do. What I need to do is focus on, if I ever find another church home, is to make sure that we are all on the same accord, and that's we are seeking guidance from the Most High, the Creator. So that would be my dream church if I was to ever, try to go and try to get back in the church. But right now, my walk is just trying to have a close relationship, and it's to be the best me I can be, and work on some of this mess to get some of this mess up off of me, because sometimes, guys, if you work around stuff and you be around some stuff, sometimes those things will be ping-ponging up, and you be like, you can't come here. And if you come here, you can't stay. You got to go. Because, see, I'm trying to make room. All that room in here belongs to Almighty, not you. You got to go. But anyway, guys, that's all I come to say. I appreciate y'all listening, and I appreciate y'all. Any feedback, if y'all have any church hurt stories, because I didn't have any, because like I said, we was taught, while we was going for a fellowship with not just the people in the church, but our ultimate goal was to get Almighty and get them in that heart, and get them in that body, and get them all, let them just be all from the top of your head down to the soles of your feet. Just kind of like, do the best you can to just be the person that he can say, you'll hear him say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Once this life is all over, because we all got to give this flesh up one day. So that's what I'm striving for, guys. Anyway, I want to say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Put some comments. You got a church story to talk about? Church hurt, or maybe not church hurt. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because I appreciate Eat with Q and Chelsea doing that podcast. I think I've looked at all of their podcast videos except for maybe one. And I'm going to get around to that one too eventually. I will. But I appreciate all of those. And I think I've shared a couple of them out as well. So anyway, everybody, I want y'all to have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing to the channel if you subscribed. If you have not, please subscribe, like, comment, and, thumbs it up or thumbs it down. Share it out. I thank you guys. Until the next time I see you or you see me or however this thing's supposed to be, I love you and I mean it and there's nothing you can do about it. Until the next time, guys, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. Be blessed, all right? Take care, everybody.